Okay, well, here we go, guys. Thanks for joining. Today, we're gonna do part of a series that I'm gonna start is Zone 2 Talks. It's basically where I ride Zone 2 and we pick a subject and talk about a certain subject around our lifestyle. Could be cycling related, weight loss, which will be today's topic. Could be alcoholism, whatever that might be. But today's topic will be, can you lose weight cycling? The short answer is yes, and no. So stick around. We'll get going here in our Zone 2 ride. I warmed up for 12 minutes while I was setting everything up here. So I'm pretty much warmed up and ready to go. So, and kind of since we're talking about weight loss, I want to be honest with you guys. I'm not a professional, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a trainer. I just have, my personal experiences and my opinions of what's worked for me, and what may or may not work for you. You'll have to make those decisions on your own. So. We'll start, I guess, with my journey and where I came from. I'll get through that real quick. I was a skinny kid. I never had any issues with that. I was a really active kid. I was running from a young age with my cousin, who was a really good cross-country runner, and then he went into the Marines. And when he would come back, we would always go on runs, a mile and a half from the farm I grew up on to the farm that his mom and dad lived at. I don't believe he grew up there. He grew up in town. But either way, so I was active in that way. Of course, I grew up on a farm in Ohio, so I was out, and all my friends were, half a mile away or more. So we always pedaled our bikes back and forth. We were always outside. Never an issue with weight. Through high school, again, athlete. I ran cross country, played basketball, played baseball, varsity lettered in all of those things, and track as well. But cross country, I was pretty good at cross country. I was a sub 16-minute 5K runner, so I was I was number one on the team for a couple years. When I was a freshman, I was back at number, I think, 5 on the team. But then things got in the way in my senior year, and I made some bad choices and ended up not running cross country. And that was kind of the beginning of the I guess the downfall. Nothing bad really happened. I had other priorities that got in the way, and through my 20s, of course, my weight didn't matter too much because I was still high metabolism. I ate whatever I wanted, but I sure wasn't exercising. I wasn't doing anything. I was partying and getting into that lifestyle. I moved out to Colorado in my late 20s, and moved out here with my wife, and we were dating in Ohio, moved out together, came out here, same thing, just bad lifestyle choices, ate whatever I wanted. We were going out and doing all the party scene thing out here too, but we into my 30s is where it got me. I started putting on weight, didn't realize it. I was a cigarette smoker for 14 years. So I started putting on weight and didn't think about it, didn't realize it until I was in my mid-30s. By the time I was in my mid-30s, I wasn't at my heaviest yet. I was probably 190 pounds. But I decided then, well, maybe I need to quit smoking. So I had quit smoking, and I wanted to start to get right with my health. So I wanted to start riding a bike. I was mountain biking even as a cigarette smoker. Like when you're in your late 20s, you don't care about that. But I didn't realize the shape I was in, because what I would do is do a lot of downhill stuff. I'd get the local bus and bring it right back up the hill and go downhill again. So you don't realize how bad a shape you're in. And then when I started, when I finally decided to start after quitting smoking and noticing that I put some weight on, I would try to pedal up the hill. So I live in the neighborhood I lived in is just it's either uphill or downhill. There's no flat hardly at all. But man, I was disappointed. I couldn't make it a half a mile up the hill on my mountain bike at the time, and I was in bad shape. Thinking, still having the thoughts of being the high school cross country runner in my head, that I'm a machine, I can do whatever, like I'm young, all those things go through your head. But it was not the case. And it's only now that I realize like how far off my fitness was from what I thought it was. Because now I'm in a lot better shape. At the height of my weight, which came sometime shortly after that, after where I started, I think I took an injury and lost out on training, continued to eat like crap, but I ended up around 210 pounds a few years ago, the heaviest I've ever been. That's bordering the very low end of obesity. For me, I'm 5'11", so it was really bordering that line of obesity and overweight. So I decided then to try to cut it, and it's a battle. It's a battle for everybody when it comes to exercise and weight loss especially. When you're in your 40s like I am, and your metabolism is slowed down, and if you jump on the bike, you don't just lose 5 pounds. It's a combination. It takes the bike or running or whatever exercise you want to do. It takes that for to kind of spark the fat burning engine inside of you. But you can shut that engine off with different things. Alcohol is one of them. Eating poorly, right? You go ride your bike for a half hour. That does not give you you can't just willy-nilly run out and go eat 2 double cheeseburgers, fries, a couple slices of pizza, milkshakes. Like, you go do that, you're gonna put in 2,000 calories in that one meal, and you only burned 500, 700 calories on that half-hour bike ride, if that. So it's, for me, what's worked for me is I have to count calories. If I don't track my calorie intake, I'll mess up. I will take in way more calories than what I think I'm taking in, and I'll just put weight on, even when I'm biking. I've done that through the early winter here, when I started, because I kind of took a little break off the bike. Not like I was biking at least once a week, but not much, just a little bit. But then I started getting back into it. Of course, I went from 165 pounds last summer up to 185. I saw, and I was like, wow, I gotta get this back under control. So just recently, last 2 or 3 weeks, been counting my calories again and getting back down to, like I said, I'm 178 now. So I'm getting back to a reasonable weight. Sorry, I gotta slow up here and let my pacer catch up a little bit. So I'm getting back to for me, a good weight. Anything under 175 is pretty good. It's definitely not my cycling race weight. I want my race weight to be in that 165 area. It's just, and it's not a vanity thing. I mean, part of it, of course, is a vanity thing for me when it comes to physical appearance. But it's, when it comes to cycling, being lower on weight is really important because your watts per kilogram go up. If you look on the screen, you can kind of see the current watts per kg is at 1.9. If I step on it a little bit here, I can bump that up to 3. I don't want to step too much because I want to stick in my low zone 2 effort, high zone 1, whatever, for this ride and this talk. So weight is important when it comes to cycling. And for anybody just joining the channel or the video, I've got some races and some road tours, mountain bike races. I've got all that scheduled this summer. So I want to be in the race weight I want to be. So I'm going to work on getting there. And like I said, count your calories. Maybe not everybody, maybe that doesn't work for everybody, maybe that's demoralizing, but if you don't know what you're putting in, how do you know what you need to burn? If you want to eat 4,000 calories a day, you better be burning 4,500 calories a day to lose weight. Generally, a calorie deficit of 500 calories for the day is a pretty sustainable deficit to be in. A lot of people will go out, me too, I'm guilty of this as well. A lot of people will go out and eat 800 calories or 8 to 1,200 calories in a day, plus do a 1,000 calorie workout on my bike. And yeah, that works. I can cut weight pretty fast if I do that. But it's not sustainable. Eventually, your metabolism adjusts. It says, holy cow, you are burning way too much. You're only taking in 800 calories. So your metabolism will slow down even more, and it'll quit burning so much when you're off the bike or off your feet, whatever, not doing your exercise. Basically gets used to a lower calorie intake. So, like I said, I've been guilty of that before, going super low calories while still cycling, and yeah, I can cut a lot of weight pretty quick. So if you're gonna do that, which I've done it, and again, I'm not a professional, I'm just my own experiences. With the brakes. Oh, maybe I don't want to come to a complete stop though. Yeah, if you Zwift, you understand you make mistakes here and there. So where was I? Yeah, if you're gonna do the super low calorie cut, for me, I can do that for 2 or 3 weeks. Oh man, I'm kind of screwing up this pacer thing. I was out there 80 meters ahead, now he's gonna come flying by me. There he went. I guess I gotta step on it. Sorry. You can see my watts per kg up there around 6. Just trying to not lose him. Boy, that wasn't very smart the way I paced that one. So let me try and do a zone 2 right here. Yeah, do 3 weeks, really low calories, and then go back for a couple weeks to normal calories, where you're not really at a deficit, or maybe you're at that 500 or less deficit, and do that back for a couple more weeks, and then do it again. Do the low calorie cut for 3 weeks, and then go back to normal calories. Especially when you go back to your normal calories, if you're exercising, make sure that you're accounting for the exercise accurately. A lot of these calorie counters overestimate your calorie burn. Really do your research on what you're burning and how you're burning it. Because you don't want to take 3 weeks in a severe calorie deficit, come back and think you're doing 200 or 300 calorie deficit for the day, to not let your metabolism, go back, think that low calories are what you're going to live all the time. But go back to that. Just make sure you know what calories you burn. Don't. The calorie tracker I have, I think, is way off. Well, not think, I know it is. Compared to what Strava tells me I've burned for calories, it's way over. So something's amiss there. Just do your own research and really try to dial in what you're burning and what you're eating. A lot of times when people count calories, they have to underestimate size portion. I try to be cognizant of that when I put in the food I'm eating. And I try to be conservative with that, where I'm maybe even overestimating a little bit. Losing weight is such a hard thing. It takes so much dedication, and we are all people who generally we want instant gratification. We want to see, I want to lose 10 pounds next week. That's not realistic. It's not realistic for me. It's not realistic for very many people out there. Sure, you can do it, but it's probably not a healthy way of cutting your weight. Really, what I had said a few minutes ago, the best way to lose weight is truly to live in a calorie deficit of 500 calories. It's sustainable, it's gradual, you don't lose all your energy. Like that is the right way to do it, and that takes a lot of mind and willpower. Everybody has it within them. I'm a believer that people are stronger than what they think. They can work harder, they can ride harder, and they can be disciplined. It takes mind over matter, or whatever saying you want to use. You have to stay on track up here first. If you don't stay on track up there, you'll give up. You'll grab that bucket of ice cream at 9 o'clock at night. You'll eat half of that bucket or quarter of that bucket of ice cream at 9 o'clock till 9:30, and then you'll go to bed. Well, you failed yourself in that case. Can you do it once in a while? Yes, absolutely. I believe in all things in moderation. Meaning, generally, you can do about anything you want, just in the proper amount. Fortunately, I guess I'm lucky. I'm not the biggest ice cream fan. Like, ice cream's fine. That's not my thing. So yeah, that's kind of my journey. A few tips and tricks there. How have I been able to lose it is, what I just described. That was pretty much it. Some severe calorie deficit weeks, and then some just barely calorie deficit weeks by 300 to 500 calories, and just do that for months. I mean, it took me 2 years probably to go from 210 pounds to where I was in that 175 range, because a lot of up and down, stick with it, lose it for a little bit, stick with it, but ultimately the trend worked its way down, and it's worked well. Again, I put a little bit on this fall, nothing I'm concerned with. I'm back on track and back cutting it. I haven't weighed myself in 3 or 4 days now, probably. I don't generally step on the scale every day. because I know if I step on it every day, I'm gonna see 174, and then a day later or 2 days later, I'm gonna see 179, and I'm gonna be like, what am I doing wrong here, man? So I don't step on a scale every day. I'm not a subscriber to that. But if you are, you again, do what works for you. I do know that it doesn't work if you give up. So stick with it and don't give up, and you'll get to wherever you want to be. Maybe you want to put weight on, and you gotta, if you're trying to put on some weight so you can build muscle, there's a time for me that'll be coming. I'm a pretty skinny person up top. I don't have a lot of muscle mass, and again, I'm in my 40s. I need to put on some muscle mass, because as I get into the 50s and 60s, putting muscle on becomes really hard. It'll be really, once you're into your 60s, for most people, it's just a matter of maintaining what you got at that point. So yeah, it's kind of the plans there. So yeah, can you lose weight cycling? Absolutely. But it's not just cycling. It's not just running. It's all of the things combined. Like I said earlier, your exercise is the spark that starts that fat burning engine. But if you screw it up with alcohol or big juicy cheeseburgers after every exercise, you're probably not going to lose weight. So sorry. So how to, I got a few notes here, so I'm trying to make sure I kind of stay on track here. How do you keep it off? Once you get to where you want to be, now you're a little more flexible. You can, once you're where you want to be, whatever healthy is for you, I don't think it has to be, skinny as a rail isn't healthy. Obesity is not healthy. Like whatever is healthy for you. It's not a look, right? It's not your look. It's how healthy are you inside. And you can be, a little stockier or whatever. Some people's body types are that way, and be healthier than I am. Put out more power on the bike than I do, and whoop my tail in a cycling event or whatever. Because I'm not the strongest cyclist by any stretch. I'm trying to get strong and stay strong and be healthy for me. For me, my body type, my shape, I'm a skinny person. So if I'm thin and wearing size, 32 waist, married US size, of course. I live in the US, so if I'm wearing a 32 waist, I am probably in pretty darn good shape compared to where I used to be. So keeping it off is just you can go back to being calorie. Essentially you don't want to burn more calories than you take in. That's and me with my cycling fitness, that's where I get strong on my bike, is when I'm not trying to cut weight and I can just be calorie equal. I can go out and knock out 1,000 calorie workout, and then I'm gonna eat 2,800 calories that day or 3,000 calories that day.
Right on.
Man, that's where the good times roll. Is once you're in a routine of working out, and it's and then not just a routine, but then habit forming, to where it feels weird if you don't do it. Once you're in that and you're where you want to be with your weight loss journey, man, that's where you can go do a workout and go eat 4 slices of pizza and a chocolate shake. Not every day, but you can do that. So that's, I think, for a lot of us, once we achieve our goal and maintain that goal, that's where life becomes fun as far as fitness and eating. A lot of us like to eat. I of course am no different. So yeah, I hope you all found some benefit in this. I'm just getting started on my workout for the day. I'm only 39 minutes in. I'm gonna try to do 2.5 hours at zone 2. I've been lower, right at the low end of zone 2 or upper end zone 1, so I may have to switch pacer groups and get going a little faster. I just need my heart rate up just a little bit more than what it is. But yeah, so I'm a new channel. I really would appreciate, a subscribe and a like and a comment, notification, all the cliche things that all the YouTubers say. I'm not really, the goal of this channel isn't to make money, but it is to have some fun for me. Like, I really enjoy health and fitness now. I really enjoy talking to people. My career has a lot of talk with people, and I don't want to share that. That's my own business, but my career does require a lot of teaching and talking with people. Obviously, health and fitness means something to me, but I'm not an expert in it. So I really appreciate you coming in and checking me out. And if you made it this far, and stick around, we're gonna have a good time.